Okay, good day everyone. This is a game called The Excavation of Hobbs Barrow. I did play the demo a while back when it was named something else. I can't remember what the name of it was called, but they renamed it to this, The Excavation of Hobbs Barrow. Oh, interesting. Okay, crazy little screen there. Let's read the description. I'll loop the audio because it... Anyway, the description reads, The Excavation of Hobbs Barrow is a folk horror narrative-driven adventure. Explore the isolated moors of rural Victorian England as you uncover the mystery of Hobbs Barrow. The answers lie in the soil. So I was going to skip to basically where the demo ends, but I've found out that there is actually voice acting this time, which is good for my throat because I really fucked it up last time by doing stupid voices. Anyway, let's click new game. And basically, because there is voice acting, I'm not gonna skip is my justification for doing... Oh, interesting, I had to click. Oh, okay, yep. Makes sense. Off we go. Here's somebody coughing in the distance.
Miss Bateman, welcome back to Ticehurst House. It's been quite some time. Terrible weather this evening, is it not? Nurse Blaketon has had enough of me smoking inside. Makes her cough, you see. A bit of rain won't kill me, will it? You mustn't be interested in me nattering on. Give my regards to your father. Nurse Blaketon is preparing his supper. You look pale, Miss Bateman. Do head inside. You'll catch your death out here.
Oh, Jesus. So the talking's a little slow in between each sentence, but alright. Nice choo-choo train. I do like my steam trains.
Dearest mother.
Is it waiting for me to...
I hope this letter will reach you.
I've got to click apparently. I thought I turned that option off, but apparently not.
I have spent these past years in torment, trying to piece together what remains of fractured memories. What I am about to recount to you will seem beyond comprehension, but I beg for your patience. I will endeavour to explain the events that led me to Ticehurst House that night. As far as I can recall, this whole wretched story started with the receipt of a letter from a Mr. Leonard Shoulder. The letter brought me to the isolated village of Bewley, deep in the moors. No station master in sight. I hope the village isn't too far away. I can't recall our exact meeting place. Mr. Shoulder mentioned it in his letter.
Left click to walk and track, right click to examine. To access your inventory, move your mouse cursor to the top of the screen. Left click on an inventory item to select it, right click to examine it. Once the inventory item is selected, you can right click to deselect it. You can double click to exit to teleport directly to it. The game will occasionally autosave. You can also save at any time via the menu. Keyboard shortcuts, escape, menu, M for map when available, F quick save, F7 quick load, spacebar hold to show interactable hotspots. Understood. game saved. What if I hit F5? It just says game saved as well. Okay, fair enough. What items do we have? Letters. Dear Miss Bateman, I write this letter in hopes of piquing your curiosity. I read about your expertise in barrows, and if I understand correctly, you are writing a book on them and the treasures they contain. I live in the village of Bewley, where a most special barrow can be found on the outskirts. It is rectangular in form and is certainly tall enough to stand in. The place is steeped in local legend, and there is rumour of secrets that can be found deep within. I hope you will not misunderstand me and find this letter intrusive. I wish to visit Bewley and excavate the barrow. I will be pleased if you would be my guide. Please send your response to the Plough and Furrow Inn in Bewley. I shall wait your letter. Yours respectfully, Mr. Leonard Shoulder. Dear Miss Bateman, marvellous news. I shall meet you at 8 o'clock in the evening of the 14th of this new month at the Plough and Furrow Inn, Bewley. The inn has fine rooms which you will find adequate for your short stay. When we meet, I shall tell you more of the circumstances surrounding the site, which is referred to locally as Hobbs Barrow. It is not located on my own land, but we will have no issue gaining permission to excavate. I wish you a safe journey.
I must make my way to the Plough and Furrow Inn. I swear she was not standing there a moment ago. Excuse me?
Yes?
I'm looking for the Plough and Furrow Inn. Do you know where I can find it?
Ah, young lady. Leave the station and follow the dry stone wall for around half a mile. You'll come to Bewley. Go straight ahead and you'll find the market square. The inn is t'other side at square.
Thank you very much.
Oh.
What can you tell me about Bewley?
Well, it used to be a thriving village. Not so much now. I don't spend much time there these days.
Are you local?
Ah, yes, a local I am. But I don't live in the village.
Where are you travelling to today?
That would be none of your business, young lady.
Quite. Apologies. I wish you a pleasant journey.
Okay, so she auto asked the last question. That's interesting.
I have nothing else to ask for the time being.
Okay.
If I take the sign, how would the trains know where to stop?
Well,
The post looks unattended. Bewley. I have great expectations for this barrow. A door of fine construction. Hello?
okay, exit.
What brings you to Bewley?
I beg your pardon?
What brings you to Bewley, miss?
The truth, I have nothing to hide. Lie, she looks superstitious. Let's just tell the
I'm here to
truth.
visit a local landmark, Hobbs Barrow.
Hobbs Barrow? Well, I can't say I've heard of it. For what reason?
I wish to excavate it.
Grave robber, are you?
Not at all. I merely have an interest in antiquities.
Not much to be found in Bewley, if you ask me. You're better off waiting for the next train back to the city.
I'll take my chances.
Can't say I didn't warn you.
That was odd.
Back to city. Certainly sounds northern. Ooh. Interesting music choice. Actually, I might... One second. Okay, I've pressed about in the settings. Hopefully the audio settings are pretty good now. Oh. I was meant to look at that before I walked up to it. Pressing wrong buttons already. That's
Humble dwelling.
typical for me. I am really bad at reading as well, so
A humble dwelling.
I apologise if I don't read exactly what it says on the
Path disappears over a small rise. The old woman told me to go straight ahead to get to the inn. I'll have time to explore tomorrow.
Yeah, I may not read exactly as it's written, and I won't read it very well, is basically what I'm saying.
The anvil looks heavy. This appears to be the forge of a local blacksmith. The bucket has seen better days. Perhaps this belongs to a merchant. A fine example of a church. It looks like it was built in the Norman style.
I will be clicking on random things. I'm not planning on speed running this or any stupid thing like that.
A local cobbler.
When I say stupid, I don't mean that speed running is stupid. I just mean that that's not what I'm going to do.
Is in a dilapidated state. Quite a fine building indeed.
And not only that, but if this is one of those games where you have to be pixel perfect, it's going to take me a while to find things.
The Plough and Furrow. I have a bit of time before Mr. Shoulder arrives. I should inquire about a room. The Plough and Furrow Inn. The inn where I am to meet Mr. Shoulder. The man looks thoroughly inebriated.
Hello there. What's the young lady doing out alone in this sodding weather?
Get out of the way, sir, you're drunk. What are you doing out in this weather?
I'm heading to the Plough and Furrow.
Bloody good pub, that. It has the finest ales in the whole county. Oh, I'll take you there if you like.
I believe we are standing directly in front of it.
Oh, so we are. Listen,
Yes.
give us a kiss now, won't you?
Humour him, it usually works for men. Slap him, I've no time for this. Deflect question, perhaps he's married.
Wouldn't your wife disapprove?
My wife? Bloody hell, my wife! She'll be on the table at this hour, and if I don't get back, she'll be roaring. Until we meet again.
What a buffoon.
Yep.
I should speak to the innkeeper about a room. A fine exemplar of inebriation. A rather miserable-looking fellow. He's playing a board game by himself. I think it's Three Men's Morris. They are engaged in an intense discussion. The innkeeper is a serious-looking man. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, lass. How can I help you?
Lass, yeah, I think he's Norman. A room?
I am in need of a room for the night.
Aye, we aren't short of those. One night, is it?
I shall need at least 2 nights, maybe more.
Aye, 'tis not a problem. 3 shilling per night. That includes your dinner and tea.
A fair price.
I'll need that payment up front for the 2 nights.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, lass. How can I help you?
Leonard Shoulder.
Do you know a man named Leonard Shoulder?
Aye, I know the man.
I'm to meet him here tonight.
Can I get you something to drink while you wait?
Not yet, thank you. Bye for now.
As you were.
Good afternoon, sir.
Nout for you here.
I beg your pardon?
I said there's nout for you here, lass. Be on your way.
Charming. Good afternoon.
So maybe I need
Good
to
afternoon, lass.
ask for a room
How can I
again.
help you?
How much is the room again?
3 shilling per night. That includes your dinner and tea.
How much is the room again?
Okay,
Bye for now.
As you were.
maybe I got to talk to some other people, like these two.
They are engaged in an intense discussion. Hello, sir.
We are in the middle of a discussion here.
Sorry to interrupt. Hello, miss.
What you want?
I...
Bugger off.
Excuse me, lass. Upstairs is for paying lodgers only.
My apologies.
Oh, that's right, I've got to give him the money from up here, don't I? What else we got? A handkerchief?
A gift from my mother. It bears my initials, TB. I have 6 shillings and 2 pence. My assistant Kenneth is bringing more funds tomorrow. I don't like travelling with too much money on me. This is payment for the room.
Thank you. Can I ask for your name, lass?
Thomasina Bateman.
And will Mr. Bateman be staying with us tonight?
No, I am not wed. My assistant is arriving in Bewley tomorrow.
Your assistant, you say? Will you be needing another room?
Please.
I'll keep a room spare. It's not quite as nice as yours, I'm afraid.
Not a problem, sir. I'm sure it will be adequate. Kenneth is a man of inexpensive taste.
Here's your key. Just go through the door to the right of the bar, then up the stairs. Room number 2.
Thank you.
Can I help you with your luggage?
No, thank you, sir. I can manage. I should go upstairs and freshen up before Mr. Shoulder arrives.
Required room key.
This shall do nicely. Time to change into something more comfortable.
Oh. Nice.
Much better.
Okay, all saved up. Let's start looking around the room.
I've hung my dress inside. Aside from that, the wardrobe is empty. I've stored my case in there. A box within a box.
Ooh.
Complementary matches. Useful. There's only one match left, though.
Oh.
Jammed shut. The wood must have warped over the years. As the only light source in the room, I ought to leave this here. My evening light shall be provided by this solitary candlestick. I don't wish to carry the bowl around with me. An empty bowl has been provided for washing. A jug of water for drinking or washing. This may come in handy.
Okay, I've just taken the jug apparently. Okay, it's quite difficult to know.
I feel relatively clean. Perhaps I could use this water for something else.
Okay. Is that everything? Seemingly.
A decorative plate depicting a goat.
Oh, okay.
A painting of surprising quality. It portrays a rocky outcrop overlooking a vast moor. Perhaps a local landmark. A curmudgeonly-looking old fellow. Hello, sir.
Aye,
Do you know a Mr. Leonard Shoulder?
You're not local. You've come on that bloody train, haven't you? Bewley's going to dogs.
My name is Thomasina Bateman, and you are...
None of your business, lass. Where's your husband?
None of your business, sir.
Ha! You're brave coming in here, all on your own.
I'm a grown woman.
I'm Cyril.
It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Cyril. Do you know Mr. Shoulder?
That be none of your business, lass. I don't come to your city poking around asking questions, do I? Man just wants to enjoy his ale in peace.
I take it you are not enamoured with the railway station.
Bewley's gonna be swarming with outsiders, like you. We don't want you coming here. It's as simple as that, lass.
Why not?
This is our town, our land.
I assure you I am not here to cause trouble.
We'll see about that, won't we?
What can you tell me about Bewley?
We're a proud community. I've lived here my whole life. Not much here to interest folks like you.
Folks like me?
Aye.
Bye for now.
Ta-ra, lass.
I do not need to use the lavatory. A biblical scene of some kind. An angel is depicted looking longingly to the heavens. This painting shows a Rubenesque figure brushing her hair. Quite unusual to see such essential work in a room like this. It is signed N. Hamley.
Oh, I skipped something apparently.
A pixie-faced peasant boy, painted in a naive style. The painting depicts a rocky-edged lake. A small bronze plate states the name Lake Cubilius. A majestic animal, cut down in his prime. The innkeeper is a serious...
Miss Bateman, you've transformed.
I feel far more comfortable in my outdoor clothing.
You look like one of those explorers you see in the newspaper.
I guess you could call me an explorer of sorts.
I'm Stanley Kemp.
A pleasure to meet you, Stanley.
And tell me, I trust your room is adequate.
Most adequate.
Excellent.
Has Mr. Shoulder arrived yet?
Still haven't seen head nor tail of him, Miss Bateman.
What can you tell me about Mr. Shoulder?
Aye, he's a quiet fellow. He only comes here to check his post.
Yes, I've been corresponding with him using this address.
Have you now? You found yourself an admirer.
Not quite.
What business do you have with old Leonard, then?
Yeah, tell the truth.
If you must know, I am what some people call a barrow digger.
A what?
A barrow digger.
What in God's name is that?
Are you familiar with tumuli?
Afraid not.
Barrow is another word for tumulus, or tumuli in the plural. A profoundly interesting subject.
You've lost me.
I excavate ancient burial sites looking for relics. A barrow is traditionally a circular mound of raised earth enclosing a burial chamber.
Oh, aye? You're a grave robber.
I am no such thing.
Don't worry, lass. I've met all sorts in here over the years. I won't tell anyone.
I assure you, my goal is more noble than petty grave robbery.
What sort of relics do you find, then? Gold? Silver? Bones?
Well, rarely gold or silver, but treasures certainly. Ancient pottery is the most common find. I've been excavating barrows all over the country. I'm documenting my findings in preparation for my book. It shall be called Vestiges of the Antiquities in Rural England.
Oh, aye. Very interesting. But what does old Leonard have to do with this?
He sent me a letter in which he told me about an unusual barrow in Bewley, a site called Hobbs Barrow. I'm meeting him here this evening to find out more.
I've lived here nigh on my whole life, and I've heard nowt about a Hobbs Barrow.
What can you tell me about Bewley?
Aye, it's a quiet place. People keep to themselves, work hard.
I look forward to exploring the village tomorrow.
There's not a lot to see, lass. But St. Edmund's Church is a fine building, worth a visit.
Are you sure you've never heard of Hobbs Barrow?
Not in my life, lass, but I'll tell you something. The moors stretch further than the eyes can see once you leave this village. There's no doubt many a discovery to be made.
Mr. Shoulder said the Barrow is well known locally, a place of legend.
I'm afraid you're going to have to speak to him about it. Why are you interested in digging around in the dirt, lass? Haven't you better things to do with your time?
I enjoy nothing more than the thrill of discovery, uncovering the past and piecing together our history. I inherited this passion from my father.
Oh, a barrow digger too, eh?
Indeed. He would take me with him on excavations as a child.
Does he still come with you now, on your own adventures?
I'm afraid my father's been bedbound by illness for many years.
Oh, I am sorry to hear that, lass.
Thank you, Mr. Kemp. He is well looked after at a private hospital.
Stanley
Tell
Kemp.
me about yourself, Mr. Kemp.
Well, I've been the proprietor of this inn for the last 16 years. I worked as a drover all over the country in my younger days. Saved up my coin and bought this place.
It's a fine inn.
Thank you. I often run short of ale, but my rooms are rarely full. We don't get many outsiders wanting to stay overnight here in Bewley.
Thanks for your time.
As you were.
Mr. Shoulder should really be here by now. I'll sit down and wait. Where on earth is he? What a waste of time this is turning out to be.
I see that couple have disappeared. Oh, wait, who's this?
Evening there, miss.
Not you again.
I just wanted to apologise for earlier. I got home, had my tea, but it gave me an aching belly.
How so?
I felt bad for how I spoke to you. I'm sorry. The drink gets a hold of me sometimes.
Let's start again, shall we?
My name is Arthur Tillett.
Thomasina Bateman.
What brings you to Bewley, anyway?
I'm here to meet someone, but he has not arrived.
His loss, if you ask me.
Perhaps you know the gentleman, Mr. Leonard Shoulder.
Oh, I know Mr. Shoulder all right. If I may be so bold as to say, he's a bit long in the tooth for you.
The relationship is not what you're implying. I've never met him. In fact, I know very little about him at all.
Get me an ale and I'll tell you all about the old sod.
One ale coming right up. You might have useful information. I really don't think you need another. The man is a liability. Must I buy you a drink for this information? Check the cheek of some people. Let's get him a drink.
Mail coming right up.
Thank you very much, Miss Bateman. Then I'll tell you all about old Leonard Shoulder.
Let's get him a drink. Oh, whoops.
A tankard of your finest ale, Mr. Kemp.
There we are. 2 pence, please.
Thank you. This was the last of my money, but Kenneth will be here tomorrow with more funds.
You hope, anyway. Acquired ale.
A tankard of warm ale. I prefer a glass of Portuguese port wine myself. Here you are, Arthur.
Thanking you. Oh, that hits the spot, that does, lass. Now then. Old Leonard Shoulder.
What?
Arthur? Mr. Tillett? Oh, for heaven's sake. The man is in a drunken stupor.
Okay.
After one drink too many, Arthur Tillett has passed out. I have nothing else to ask for the time being. Do you know a Mr. Leonard Shoulder?
You ought to be careful asking too many questions round here. Be on your way.
Oh, I don't mean to...
Listen to me, will you? Be on your way.
Good day, sir.
No? Okay.
I should wait here for Mr. Shoulder. There's nothing else I wish to discuss at the moment.
Okay, so maybe I just sit down and wait, do I?
A lovely place to warm oneself. The crackling fireplace is more welcoming than the facial expressions of the locals. I do not need to use...
Okay. What do we do then?
Mr. Tillett? He's not dead, just very drunk. I would still like to hear what he has to say about Mr. Shoulder. Mr. Tillett? He's not dead. I would still like to hear...
Okay.
After one drink...
What do I... Oh, water.
Oh, what the hell were that for?
You passed out, Mr. Tillett.
Oh, sorry, lass. Where were I? Leonard Shoulder. Hold on another minute. I'm making for a piss.
This man is unbelievable. It feels like an hour has passed. Perhaps I should go in there and check on him.
Miss Bateman? My apologies. The ladies are closed due to faulty plumbing. You'll have to use the gents.
Lovely. Mr. Tillett? There's no fresh water in there. It looks like the towel has not been washed in months. These look modern. I'm surprised. Is Mr. Tillett in there? Mr. Tillett? Mr. Tillett, are you in there? Mr. Tillett, are you in there? Well, you're not Mr. Tillett. The mangy thing is fast asleep. A cold draft is leaking in from under the door. This leads outside. The door opens a crack, but appears to be blocked from the other side. I think I can hear someone moving around. Mr. Tillett? Arthur, are you out there? Judging from the draft coming from below, this door must lead outside. I should investigate further. I can see it's still raining out there. I'd rather not touch it. The thing stinks to high heaven. A cold draft. The door is...
Okay, so perhaps I go around outside. Oh, yep, she's happy to go outside now. Let's...
Excuse me, sir. A single glove is lying in the mud. A pearly white gent's glove. It's certainly unlike anything Mr. Tillett was wearing. It seems rather out of place here. Peculiar. Someone has wedged the door shut. Mr. Tillett. Why would he have done that? Did Mr. Tillett leave, then block the door behind him? Something strange is going on here. Who was that old chap I saw outside the alley? He headed eastward. Maybe I could catch up with him and ask him if he saw Mr. Tillett.
Yeah, let's do that.
Sturdy-looking barrels, no doubt used to store ale. I suspect the barrels are empty, otherwise the locals would be rolling them into their cellars. The post has been embellished with a fine bronze bust of a horse.
Ah, there he is. Let's go get him.
The old man has disappeared into the darkness. I'd best turn back to the inn. A humble local. I don't wish to go knock.
Interesting, that light went off when we came past it earlier. Wonder if that was coincidental or not.
I'd rather...
Can I touch it with the glove?
I'm not sure they would be interested.
Oh.
Last orders.
I should get some sleep. Finding the missing men of Bewley shall have to wait for tomorrow. Kenneth will be arriving tomorrow at midday. I should get some sleep.
Go to bed, I'm tired, not yet, perhaps a little more time in front of the fire.
A lovely...
Let's see if he's got anything to say.
Mr. Stanley has...
How can I help you?
Have you seen Arthur Tillett?
I thought he were with you.
He went to the lavatory and has not returned.
That sounds like Arthur Tillett. Don't worry, lass. He'll be back.
Thanks for your time.
As you were.
Got anything
There's
else?
nothing else I wish to
No,
discuss.
okay.
Kenneth will be arriving tomorrow at midday. I should get some sleep.
I believe this is where the demo ended.
Yes, I must get some sleep. I shall track down Mr. Shoulder tomorrow.
Miss Bateman,
Yes?
off to bed.
Yes. I'm afraid Mr. Shoulder's let me down.
The rotter. Perhaps he will make himself known tomorrow.
I should hope so. This is turning into a waste of my time.
Ah, don't mind the locals, miss. It's just that we don't get a lot of visitors in Bewley.
Quite.
They mean well, believe me.
Sure, Mr. Kemp.
Please, call me Stanley.
Good night, Stanley.
Sleep well, Miss Bateman.
The First Day Adventures.
Such horrid dreams. Bolted from the inside, just as I left it last night. As I suspected, I must have dreamt of that wretched-looking cat. I must say I'm relieved. Right then. Let's see if I can track down the elusive Leonard Shoulder. I'm rather anxious to get to this Barrow. I also wonder what happened to Mr. Tillett.
Okay.
That candle didn't last long.
Right, well, let's get going.
Good morning, Miss Bateman.
Good day, Stanley.
I think for the first part, we'll go for an hour, and then after that, it'll be like 40 minutes each type thing.
Did you sleep well, Miss Bateman?
I should be polite, that's Ruth.
Not
Yeah.
really. I have the rather queer recollection of a cat entering my room last night.
A cat, you say?
Yes, an odd-looking grey one. I must have been dreaming, as I locked the door and windows before I went to sleep. I saw a similar cat in the lavatories while searching for Mr. Tillett.
Ah, Herbert. Oh, he's a harmless thing. He comes in now and then searching for scraps.
Indeed. Seeing him in the lavatories must have conjured up the strange dream.
The mind is capable of manifesting frightful things, Miss Bateman. I'm happy to report the rain of yesterday has lifted. It's a clear morning outside. Crisp. I've prepared a room for your assistant. What time will he be arriving today?
His train will get in around midday. Kenneth will also be bringing my excavation equipment.
Oh, aye. What does that entail?
Picks, shovels, buckets, lighting and such. He usually packs it in a large crate. Come to think of it, I'll need somewhere to store it.
You're welcome to use the alley behind the inn for any such bulky items.
Is it safe to do such a thing? That sounds capital, thank you.
That sounds capital, thank you.
You're most welcome, Miss Bateman. We look after our guests here at the Plough and Furrow. I'll let you get on with your day.
I'll be back with my assistant when he arrives.
Right.
Miss Bateman,
Yes?
I've something I wish to get off my chest, as it were.
Okay.
I've been tossing and turning all night, Miss Bateman. I feel rotten, I really do.
What on earth are you talking about?
As you know, I like to run an honest establishment. And well, I have not been honest with you, lass. I do know of Hobbs Barrow.
You do?
I do. Many here do. There are stories tied to that place, you know. If I've learned anything in this life, it's that some stones are best left unturned. Old Leonard Shoulder is someone to be wary of too. I can't tell you what to do, lass, but you'd best avoid him.
Why lie to me about Hobbs Barrow?
I know, lass, I know. I feel dreadful.
But why? What are these stories you speak of?
I really can't tell you more. If you insist on visiting that place, you'll have to seek out Mr. Shoulder. He brought you here. He should be the one to tell you.
I must say, Mr. Kemp, this is all quite puzzling. I've never let local superstitions stop me in the past. I pride myself on being a woman of logic and reason. I've no time to waste on such matters.
As I say, seek out Mr. Shoulder. He can tell you more.
Why must I be wary of Mr. Shoulder?
The man has a certain reputation.
For what?
You've seen it already. Were he here to meet you last night?
No.
Precisely. A man not to be trusted.
Where is Hobbs Barrow?
I don't know. I say that on my mother's grave, Miss Bateman.
I now find that hard to believe.
The moors are vast, lass. I'd tend not to go wandering out there. A grown man could lose himself and not be seen again.
Where does Mr. Shoulder live?
I can't say for sure. As I think I told you last night, he's a quiet man and keeps to himself. He only comes in here to collect his post. Leads me to believe he lives a fair distance away. Certainly not in the village itself.
Might someone around Bewley be able to help me find him?
You could ask around. As I say, lass, Bewley folk mean well. Don't forget that.
I shall return later.
Good day to you, lass.
Right, okay. Let's go start knocking. Oh,
It seems I may be fighting a battle against some sort of local superstition. Is there a single barrow in England that doesn't have some ghastly tale attached to it? Hogwash. All of it. I've a few hours until Kenneth arrives. I should use this time to find Mr. Shoulder.
map unlocked. Where should I go next? Oh, and so you would click on it and it would take you there, presumably. Okay, who are you?
Hello.
Introduce yourself.
My name is Thomasina, and you are...
Now then, that's none of your concern, love.
What do you do around here?
Hey up, you're not scared of sticking your neb in. I look after the churchyard. Dig the graves.
Oh, he might be of use to us then.
What can you tell me about Hobbs Barrow?
Not to be found digging around in those things.
You know of local barrows, then?
Don't concern yourself.
What can you tell me about Bewley?
Not much around here, love. Not worth mentioning to you, like.
I see. Do you know a man named Leonard Shoulder?
I don't know out about no Leonard Shoulder.
What can you tell me about the church?
Aye, it's a church.
Quite. Goodbye.
Ta-ra.
These flowers look pretty. Someone must take good care of them.
Let's go back into the alley.
I see no sign of life within.
No, nothing else, okay. Let's go this way.
Quite a fine building indeed.
Oh, hello.
The little whelp looks determined to slaughter the very air itself. Hello,
Yes?
my name is Thomasina. What's yours?
Douglas?
It's a pleasure to meet you, Douglas. That's a great sword technique you have.
Thanks, miss. Mr. Crozier's gonna make me a real one when I turn 12. I'm preparing myself to fight the lantern worm.
What is the lantern worm?
It's gonna come back and get us all. John Lambton thought he killed it at the River Ware, but my father told me it still lives. We must all be prepared.
The lantern worm isn't real, Douglas. Father just told you that to get you out of his hair.
Not true. I saw it slithering out by the beck. Like a giant eel it were. I ran home so fast I thought I would fly.
Sorry, miss. My brother has a vivid imagination.
Children often do at his age.
I'll keep training. You will all thank me when I thrust my sword deep into its fat belly.
Douglas, this lady doesn't want to hear your nonsense.
Do you know a man called Leonard Shoulder?
That's a funny name.
Okay.
Have you heard of Hobbs Barrow?
What's that?
A local burial mound.
Our parents don't let us wander far from the village.
What's a burial mound?
Don't you mind about that, Douglas.
Who's Mr. Crozier?
He's a blacksmith. His forge is just over there on the other side of the square.
Don't you think 12 years of age is a little young for a real sword?
I'll be a master swordsman by then.
Do you like living in Bewley?
Yeah, I do. Are you from the city?
I'm from a long way away.
You must have come on the train. I love watching all the steam puff up into the sky.
Have you been on the train yourself?
No, miss. Our parents don't have the money for train tickets. Father says we have all we need here in Bewley.
Perhaps this nice lady would like to take you away with her on the train.
No, I need to stay and protect Bewley from the lantern worm.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, miss.
I don't think anyone is home. A small plaque beside the door reads Vicarage. A local cobbler. No one here. A local dwelling.
Just going door to
I don't
door.
think anyone is home.
Right, well, we know somebody must be in the black. Oh, there we go. There's a blacksmith right here.
The blacksmith is toiling away. Good day.
Yes?
Mr. Crozier, I presume.
Aye, George Crozier, at your service.
Introduce
My
yourself.
name is Thomasina.
Aye, can I help you?
Are you a Bewley native, Mr. Crozier?
Aye, born and bred. That's where my father's forge before mine.
Okay.
How is business faring?
I do an honest trade. There'll always be horses needing shoes and farmers needing tools. You let me know if you need out made or mended. I'll do you a fair price.
Thank you, Mr. Crozier. Do you know a man by the name of Leonard Shoulder?
Oh, aye. Old Leonard.
Have you seen him recently?
No, not recently.
Do you know where he lives?
Why all these questions, lass?
I need to speak with him. He invited me to Bewley.
Oh, he'll turn up. I've seen him in the plough and furrow from time to time.
But do you know where he lives? I need to find him.
I believe he lives somewhere out on the moors. Can't tell you out more than that.
Thank you, Mr. Crozier. Do you know of a local landmark named Hobbs Barrow?
There's a fair many barrows found out on the moors, lass. Too many to put a name to. Not a soul in Bewley pays them any mind.
What can you tell me about Bewley?
We don't get many visitors here, outside of market days. But there's plenty of work for the village blacksmith. Where are you from, then?
I arrived yesterday on the train from London, by way of Derby.
Oh, aye. I've heard about London.
What have you heard?
Plenty of factories there.
Yes, indeed. The city is always changing and moving forward.
Too busy for me, though, lass. I prefer a quieter pace. Aye.
When do market days run in Bewley?
Once or twice a month. The next one is tomorrow.
Ah.
Delightful.
Unless your vice is cabbages, there'll be naught to interest a young lady.
I don't mind a cabbage.
Then you're in luck.
Thanks for your time.
Aye. Speak to you later.
Well, that's quite a lot of information we got from him.
It's right here. I've no need to go inside.
Oh, let's go to the church, shall we? Oh, hello. Who are you?
Hello?
Good day. Would you like to buy one of these cakes, pet?
Yes, I'd like to buy a cake. What kind of cakes do you have?
What kind of cakes do you have?
I have some lovely Bakewell puddings, the sweetest marriage of almond and jam. I can tell you're not from around here, because if you were, you would know about my Bakewell puddings. They are quite famous.
Alas, I'm not carrying any money with me.
That's unfortunate, pet. I'm sorry, I can't give them away for free. The money goes to the church, you see, and one cannot shirk one's duty to the church.
I understand. My name is Thomasina. What's yours?
Mrs. de Plancy.
A pleasure to meet you, Mrs. de Plancy.
Likewise, pet.
Tell me about yourself, Mrs. de Plancy.
About me? What would you possibly want to know about me? I've been attending St. Edmund's Church my whole life. I always want to help where I can, so I sell my baked goods and all the proceeds go to its upkeep. This place means so much to me.
Your cakes look delicious.
I can assure you they are. You'll not find better in the entire county.
What can you tell me about St. Edmund's Church?
Isn't it the finest building? It's been standing here since the 12th century. The box pews in the nave are very fine and date back to the 17th century. The door is open if you'd like to worship.
Thank you, Mrs. de Plancy. Do you know a local man called Leonard Shoulder?
Yes, I know Leonard. What business do you have with him?
It's a long story, but I'm trying to find where he lives.
I'm afraid I don't know, dear. Father Roach has access to the parish register. He might be able to help you.
What can you tell me about Father Roach?
He is a lovely man and an exemplary servant of the Lord. He's been the vicar of St. Edmund's for many years.
Where can I find Father Roach?
At this time of day, he'll be taking his exercise in Herne Wood, to the west of the village.
Thank you. I'll go find him.
Be sure to listen out for his merry whistling. Such a jolly man.
What do you know of Hobbs Barrow?
Hobbs what?
Hobbs Barrow, a local burial mound.
The only place of burial I know about and care for is in this very churchyard.
Thank you for your time.
Lord be with you.
Alright, let's go to the west of the village then. See if we can find Father Roach, whatever it was. Roach something.
Bugger off!
Oh, okay.
Ah, the unmistakable charm of old Cyril.
I
I don't think anyone is home.
Alright, let's go this way. This way? Oh, I can hear his whistling. Oh god. You're right. What's happening? Oh god. Oh.
Very sorry. Oh, the shame. This malaise will not pass. Oh, the nausea. I need your help, young lady.
Tell me what you need.
Let the blood from my arm.
Excuse me?
Cut me. I beg you.
I don't think I've got anything to cut you with. What spectacles?
Ouch! The broken lens is extremely sharp. Ouch! The broken
Alright, so I use glove.
Perhaps I shouldn't risk soiling this glove until I find its owner.
Oh. Handkerchief?
This handkerchief was a gift from my mother. I hope she will understand. This should work.
Broken glass. With the vicar.
Are you sure you want me to do this?
Yes, it will cure me of my ills.
I shall do as you ask, Father.
Oh, lovely.
Thank the Lord for my spare pair. God bless you. I already feel quite better.
I'm glad, Father.
The rapid healing properties of bloodletting cannot be overstated. I'm Frederick Roach, vicar of St. Edmund's Church.
My name is Thomasina Bateman. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Right.
Are you feeling better?
Yes, thank you.
What ails you, Father Roach?
I just ate a rotten berry, that's all. I like to pick blackberries for my supper, you see. They are quite delicious, as long as you mind the bramble. My apologies again. I wish we had met in different circumstances.
Are you from Bewley originally?
I was born in our very own St. Edmund's. It's quite the story.
Do tell.
My mother was sheltering there as a frightful tempest raged. And lo, did her waters break right there and then in that pew.
One could say that you were born into your role, Father.
Indeed. When my mother told me the story as a young boy, I knew that this was my calling.
St. Edmund's is a fine building.
Thank you for saying so. It's hard work keeping her in good shape, but our congregation is always willing to lend a hand in the Lord's name.
What is it like being the vicar here?
Every day is a blessing, my child. I have a great love for our parish, and the Lord looks after us.
What about your congregation?
Numbers have fallen over the years, I must say. But those that remain are faithful and full of His Spirit.
I'm looking for Mr. Leonard Shoulder.
Oh, yes? Are you a relative?
No, it's a long story, but he invited me to Bewley.
And he didn't tell you his address?
He was to meet me last night at the Plough and Furrow, but he never came.
I see. Well, let me welcome you to Bewley on his behalf.
Thank you, Father. Do you know where Mr. Shoulder lives?
Let me think. It's been many moons since I've paid him a visit.
Perhaps you could allow me to take a look at the parish register.
No need. I remember it now. A fair hike across the moors.
Could you please give me directions?
I'll take you there myself. It's the least I can do after you aided me so.
Capital. Thank you.
Just let me know when you're ready to pay him a visit. I'll be resting here for the time being.
Okay.
What do you know of Hobbs Barrow?
I can't say I've heard of it.
It's supposedly a famous local landmark.
I'm afraid I know nothing about it.
What can you tell me about Bewley?
It's a quiet town. The railway line, which I presume you arrived by, is the only news of note we've had here for years.
I've heard the new station has received a mixed reaction.
I've heard many a debate, it's true. But my role is not to adjudicate on that matter. I'm very busy in my own work, you see.
Thank you for your time.
Lord be with you.
Right, let's take another look around here, see what else we can find before we go. Mr. Shoulder's address.
shall see you
Oh,
later
what?
this evening, gents. Well, I say. Greetings, my dear.
Hello, sir.
A pause on your beauty, for I shall see you again soon.
What?
Wait.
Oh,
Some nerve.
Lady, you're blushing.
I most certainly am not.
Sorry, lass. No way through here today.
If you say so.
I do. I'm sorry, but it's not safe to walk through here while we're working. By order of Lord Panswick.
My name is Thomasina Bateman.
Oh, aye? You're not from round here, Thomasina Bateman.
No, just visiting. What is your name, sir?
Horace.
Are you in charge here?
I am indeed.
Tell me, who was that arrogant man here just now?
Just someone passing by.
It sounded like you knew him better than that.
I don't mean to be disrespectful, but that's none of your business.
What are you doing here?
What does it look like I'm doing? We're chopping down trees.
There is no need to be sarcastic.
We're employed by Lord Panswick. He's ordered us to gather logs from his woods. That's what we're doing.
These are his woods.
Aye, his lordship owns most of the land round Beoley.
Who is Lord Panswick?
Our governor.
He's the governor of the whole town.
All right, Owen, back to work now.
He lives in Bewley.
Aye, not far away. But his lordship doesn't like questions. Or visitors. Now please leave us to our work.
Do you know a man named Leonard Shoulder?
No, I don't. Can you let me get back to my work now?
Have you heard of a place called Hobbs Barrow?
Can't say I have.
Why are you gathering logs for Lord Panswick?
By heck, you ask a lot of questions. If you must know, his lordship is repairing an old ruin on his land. We need the timber for the restoration work.
How intriguing. What type of ruin is Lord Panswick restoring?
An old chapel.
I should rather like to see it.
Not possible. His lordship does not welcome visitors to his estate.
Thanks for your time.
We'll be done by tomorrow morning. Come back then if you want to explore the woods.
right, tomorrow morning it is. Oh, little squirrel.
No doubt home to many a woodland creature.
Right, let's go to Mr. Leonard Shoulder's address, shall we? Oh, actually.
What do you know of Lord Panswick?
Oh, yes. A rather important fellow around here. His vast land holdings give many a steady employment.
I hear he is renovating an old chapel on his land.
Aye, I've heard such reports. He believes this to be a godless land. Something I wholeheartedly disagree with. To which god his chapel will be dedicated to remains a matter of concern.
Why do you say that?
Oh, my apologies. Don't listen to my oafish conjecture. Let us move on.
I'm ready to go to Mr. Shoulder's house.
Excellent. I feel the fresh air will do me well. Follow me.
Follow me. Right.
Good morning, Father.
Good morning, Mrs. Duplancy. Mrs. Duplancy, this is Thomasina Bateman, a visitor to our parish.
We've already had the pleasure of meeting, Father.
Excellent. Miss Bateman, don't hesitate to try one of Mrs. Duplancy's wonderful cakes.
Yes, I've heard about her famous Bakewell puddings.
I'll be here all day, young lady. But remember, once they're gone, they're gone. Those little whelps have already gobbled up all the gingerbread.
You are doing God's work, Mrs. Duplancy.
He smiles upon us, Father.
Miss Bateman, if you'd like to follow me. Let's talk of graves, of worms, and epitaphs. Make dust our paper, and with rainy eyes, write sorrow on the bosom of the earth. Let's choose executors and talk of wills.
Shakespeare?
Quite. Which play?
Oh, I've got no idea.
Richard II?
Correct.
Oh.
You are well read, Miss Bateman. Studying the work of the bard is one of my favourite pastimes. Follow me.
Don't give me any more fucking literature puzzles, please. I'm an idiot, so...
The vast expanse of God's creation.
Can't hear you.
The moors extend as far as the mortal eye can see. Beautiful, is it not?
Indeed, the moors are beautiful. I find them rather desolate. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
Beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
The beauty of God's creation is that it takes so many forms. How can one take in such a view and not have faith? Some look at these moors and think this a godless land. But I tell you, he is found in all domains. The Lord's work is all about us. Tell me, Miss Bateman, do you believe in God?
Oh god, they had to give me a choice, didn't they? Tell the truth, Father. Roach seems prepared to hear it. Lie, you might want to avoid a tense situation. No, I'll tell the truth.
Brought up Anglican. The church was an important part of my early life, Father Roach. But what happened to my father eventually made me question things.
If you don't mind me asking, my child, what happened to your father?
He had an accident when I was very young.
Oh, past.
Come along now, Thomasina. Let's get out of the rain. Remember what I told you, all right? Be a good girl. People are unwell here. They don't want to hear you running about making noise. Understood?
Yes, Mother.
Good. And don't annoy the nurses.
I promise I won't.
Good. Now, let's see your father.
Mummy is crying. Mummy? Mummy? Daddy is sleeping. Daddy, wake up!
Good evening, Mr. Bateman. Hello, little one. You must be Thomasina?
Yes.
My name is Nurse Blaketon. I just need to talk to your mummy for a little bit. I'm sorry to disturb you, Mrs. Bateman. Mrs. Bateman?
Will he ever talk again, Nurse Blaketon?
The doctor is uncertain, Mrs. Bateman. There is the possibility that Mr. Bateman won't regain any movement at all. But we will do our utmost to look after Mr. Bateman here at Ticehurst Manor. He will have a nurse by his side at all times, I can assure you.
What sort of God would allow this fate to befall such a kind and honest man?
I'm sorry to hear this. God moves in mysterious ways, but he loves us all. Come along now.
Hello? You scampered off in a hurry? Who was that?
Some primitive folk make their home out on the moors. I suggest you keep your wits about you when you are exploring, and don't stray too far from Bewley.
I see. How much farther to Mr. Shoulder's house?
Still quite a walk, I'm afraid, but we'll get to him soon enough. Now then, take a look at this. Legend has it that this cairn has stood here for over 1,000 years.
How remarkable.
The Devil's Toe.
I beg your pardon?
That's what it's called. The Devil's Toe.
Oh, I see.
Come now. Onward.
We walked and walked across that vast, featureless landscape. All the while, Father Roach was whistling away merrily. Just as I had begun to wonder if we were hopelessly lost, a building emerged from the mist. Mr. Shoulder's cottage.
Here we are, Miss Bateman. Unless my memory fails me completely, this is Mr. Leonard Shoulder's house.
Thank you for your help, Father Roach.
Now, no need to thank me after your providential assistance today. However, I have something to ask you.
Yes?
Please don't tell Mrs. de Plancy about my little scene in the woods. She will only fret, and the poor dear woman has enough on her mind as it is.
I shan't mention it.
Thank you. You'd better see if Mr. Shoulder is in.
Right, well, I think that's what we're going to call it for the first part. We've learnt a few things about the villagers, some of them at least, and it's a very unusual start. I'm not sure what's happening here, but there seems to be some sort of something that the villagers aren't talking about. In any case, I hope you've enjoyed. Have a good day, everyone. Hopefully speak to you soon. Bye.